Hello folks, and welcome to Netcruzer Cars. Today we're going to pull my MK7 Volkswagen GTI into the garage and remove the Neuspeed power module. Now why are we doing that? I'll explain in a minute. Oh, it's so cold today. Just going to let this warm up for a minute. So my car, I bought this in July 9, 2014. This is a 2015 MK7 Volkswagen GTI. It has 58,715 kilometers on it, and I'm considering trading it in. At the point now where it's almost 5 years old, it's got low kilometers for a 5-year-old car, and its residual value is quite high. So Volkswagen would probably want to sell this as a certified pre-owned vehicle, and I've already actually taken it in, and they did say that they want it. But in order to qualify for the higher trade-in value that I've negotiated, they want to hook it up to their computer and verify that it's never had a chip tune on it. Now this car has never been chip tuned with software. What it does have is a piggyback Neuspeed power module box on it, which allows the turbo to boost up 5 psi higher. They say that it never throws the TD1 flag. What Volkswagen looks for to make sure that your ECU has never been flashed outside of factory. So I want to make sure that it definitely doesn't have any issues with getting through the final software checks, so I am going to remove the power module. If for some reason the whole deal falls through, I'll put the power module back on and it'll be fine. You know, I'll keep driving this car, but if I can get the value that they've offered me for this, plus the discounts on the other car that I'm looking at, I might be upgrading. But today it's really cold. It's minus 20, and there's a snowstorm coming tonight, so I just wanted to pull it into the garage, get it warmed up a bit, and then take the power module off. I want to do it while the engine's cold, but I also don't want to do it when it's minus 20, so I've got the heat on in the garage to warm it up a little bit, but we'll see. Oh, I should back it in. Yeah, I should probably back it in. Woo! That was fun. Oh, I wish I had an outside shot for that. Make sure I don't actually crash or scrape this thing right before I'm about to give it back. That would suck. All right, that should be plenty of room to close the door and pop the hood. Oh, I love my new door opener. Okay. One interesting thing about Volkswagens, it's a safety thing. You cannot open the hood unless the door is open, which is very good. So, the thing we're trying to remove, ooh, I'm going to need some more light for you, but the thing we're trying to remove is right here, the Neuspeed power module. First thing we should do is pop the hood cover off, pop the motor cover off, even though it's minus 20, probably breaking all the clips. Did I break a clip? Yeah, I did. I broke that one. Whoopsie. That's what happens when you work in minus 20. The Neuspeed power module, which is down in here, it runs off two sensors. It has a piggyback on this connector and another one that's way down there at the bottom that I'm going to have to do by feel. Now I have disconnected it previously by feel, so I have done it, but I've done it in the summer. It's going to be quite a bit more challenging to do it in the very, very cold weather of today. So this is the easy one, and the hard one is down there at the bottom. And then once I get those two connectors off, then it's just undoing my cable management and undo my zip ties and stuff and unroute the cabling and pull that little tuner box out. Since everything's so cold, those are the two little clips that I broke off the bottom of the engine cover. I thought I'm going to use this heat gun that I have and just heat up the areas that I'm going to work with, because if I break those little clips, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to use the heat gun and get things warmed up. Just a little bit of heat and that popped up, that connection popped off, no problem at all. So this is the little Y harness that's on the Neuspeed power module for the upper sensor, and all I have to do is move that aside and reconnect in the stock factory plug to the stock location. And now that part is done. So the upper cabling's done. It's the bottom cabling that's the hard part to get at. It is easier if you go up from the bottom, but you have to take the under plastic skirting off. Now you can reach down to the very bottom and grab it, at least you can on mine. On the Golf R's they have the windshield washer fluid reservoir right here, so it would be even harder to get at from the top. So we'll see if you can see this, but this wire here, this is my Neuspeed power module. and it's going down, and there's two connectors side by side down there, so you want to make sure you don't unplug the wrong one, but this is the cabling that I want to try and trace and unplug. I can get my hand on it. You can put your hand all the way down through like this. You got to take your coat off, because the only other time I've done this is in the summer. You pretty much have to have a fairly, you know, you can't have too fat of an arm. If you got some huge arms, you won't be able to get it in here, but I can get my hand on the connector, but it is absolutely freezing cold right now, and so I'm afraid I'm going to break it. So I have to get some heat down in there first, because once I added heat to that top one, it popped off no problem. And we're almost done. I've got the box out, I've got the cabling disconnected, so we're ready to just pull it out once I get that last connector off. Okay, success. So that connector, this connector here is the one that was connected to the sensor, so I've got it off, and now I've got to get the actual, the factory connector off of the pigtail, but it's freezing cold, so I got to get some heat on the back side. All right, I got it. I had to get two hands down in there at the same time, one on either side, and then I was able to have one hand on the little clip and the other hand, and I was able to disconnect the factory connector from this harness. The Neuspeed box is fully disconnected. I just have to unwind my wiring from under the air intake and plug in that factory sensor. The factory sensors are notoriously hard to get off. I did have to jam a screwdriver in just to get it started and unclipped a little bit, and then reach down with two hands and pull it off. Now to get it reconnected, let's reach down in here, grab a hold of it. You can't see anything. What's the point of this? I don't know. Then you have to do it all by feel. You have to feel where the connector is. We've got all the connectors off, and the factory connectors are replugged. Now I just got to run my wiring up through. But be careful, because you don't want to rip a connector off now. We've got it off. It's done. Disassembly complete. So this is what I was removing. This is the Neuspeed power module. Now this little device is great because instead of it being a software chiptune, it's reusable. I can sell this, I can use it on another Volkswagen Group car or an Audi. I love this thing. It has a little switch on the back which tells you what octane you can run. So I've got it set on 91, which is a 5 PSI boost, or you can run it on 100 octane, which is a 7 PSI boost. So I'll either sell this, or if I get another Volkswagen that has the same 2-liter motor, I can put this in it. Or Audi. If you get an Audi with a 2-liter turbo EA888 motor, that's what this is for. Because Volkswagen is really stickly about the flashing of the ECUs now. If they detect any kind of software modification on your engine software, warranty void. All right, so now all there is to do is to reinstall the engine cover. So it does have that broken clip, but 3 should hold it just fine. Let me just fire it up, make sure it starts without any errors. I think we're golden. Okay guys, that actually worked a little bit easier than I thought it might be because I was able to use the heat gun. So that was maybe a 15-minute job and mostly just with me struggling to get those connectors off. All right, so if you like this or you learned something, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll try and find some links in the description for this guy because this highly recommended. If you don't care about getting like the maximum performance that you can with a full software stage 2 tune out of these motors, I would recommend you rather do this. Because if you're gonna flash with stage 1, yes, you'll get another maybe 20 horsepower, 10, 20 horsepower out of your full stage 1 versus that, but you are completely voiding your warranty. If your turbo blows up or your motor blows up, you go to Volkswagen, they're gonna scan your ECU, you're gonna get a TD1 flag, and they're gonna say, nope, sorry, you're running aftermarket ECU software. No warranty for you. So Neuspeed power modules, way safer option for mildly tuning your Volkswagen Mark 7 and newer vehicles.